Yeah,
My niece will do something. 90's a biggie.
yeah.
I can.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Renee. Love seeing the pictures of the babies.
A lot of
What?
a lot of fun to organize those pictures. I bought those outfits like 2 months ago.
They are so cute, those two munchkins.
Yeah, they're going to be a year in like 4 weeks. So that's
Wow.
You better be kidding. Really?
God.
just had them. They'll be year May 5th.
That's unbelievable.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Since we got kicked out of the
They
meeting.
were born under quarantine and still here, still under the same roof.
Yeah.
To the park and stuff. They really like their outdoor time when we just take them out for a little walk, and they're more excited about dogs. They have an affinity towards retrievers and wiener dogs, like the Dachshunds.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like every time they see that type of dog, they just start. Yeah, it's very sweet.
Nice. Hi, Stu.
Hi, Stu.
You're on mute.
So hopefully,
I am unmuted.
There you go.
there's still hurt.
Hi, Tom.
Okay, we can hear everybody then just fine.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Michelle.
Now they can see the rest of the room. Now I go back to this file. And you and I can look at this on here. We don't have to share that. See if we can make this work. I got another one. I don't know if the battery's any good.
We must be getting the noise from the room.
We're assuming that.
We're getting a lot of noise from the room. Yeah.
Yeah, I would mute it, but then they forget to unmute it.
Yes, right.
They're locked out.
Well, they're supposed to have a full house today.
Yeah, I saw the email that said that.
This way.
Yeah, what is that? 66 people? Is that it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I would think they'd start to remove those
We can do
restrictions.
the full screen too.
Well, what are the cases like there? I haven't paid attention.
We can do it that way.
Yeah,
I
but
can
I want to, I'd like to look at,
4.4 testing, testing positive. 4.4.
4.4%?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not so bad.
Yep. Down.
That's definitely going in the right direction.
Yep, sure is.
Yeah, the trouble is that they don't really know what the impact of anything is until 2 or 3 weeks after they do it. So,
I know.
you know,
Yeah, and it's been a crazy couple weeks in Vegas.
they've been screaming doom and gloom, but it doesn't seem to be coming true except in what is it, New York?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tom Krob.
Are you there, Tom? Oh, he's muted. You're muted, Tom.
I'm here
Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
doing my chemo, so I'm on no video today.
Oh, what's going on that you're on chemo?
Have a mantle cell lymphoma.
Oh, I didn't know that, Tom. I'm sorry. I
I'm
didn't.
so sorry. Oh my God. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, things are working out.
Okay.
Good.
Hi, Judith.
Well, I have-
Are you there? Judith.
I am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. All the way from Coeur d'Alene today.
Yeah, well, I'm from Myrtle Beach, so.
I'm glad you're still joining us.
Yeah, I try if I'm not, tied down with client work.
Clarify your name.
So I won't
Yeah,
stay
Thomas
on for
Crow,
the speaker because I just
6560.
have too much work to get done, but. And I listened in on the board meeting for my new club a few hours ago.
Oh, that's good.
Are they meeting in person, Deb?
They're doing exactly the same thing, the hybrid.
Yeah.
Did they
But
decide
the
to
board-
do Did they
The board-
decide to include the Pledge of Allegiance?
He brought it up at the board meeting and they said they're gonna start doing it.
That's
Wow, look
great.
at how you impacted them.
I'm like, who doesn't do the Pledge of Allegiance? I've been to so many Rotary clubs in the United States and every one of them does Pledge of Allegiance. So we got that changed today.
Good.
And
See, you're
then,
already making an impact. You're already doing it.
yeah, well, here's what happened yesterday. They asked me if I would be secretary in July. I'm like, I've only been in the club 10 days.
Oh, you
Welcome
figure you're
to small
bringing
clubs.
that New Jersey expertise to bear.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
New Jersey, Nevada. So I don't know. I got to figure that out and see how much work it's going to be. Because they do not have a Sean, so.
Tom, your mic is open.
If it's the Rotary Club, maybe that's the background noise.
It could be, yeah.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Yep. We'll do our best to make it work.
Stu, I'm going to be leaving the video today early in order to take some important phone calls, okay? So if you see me go, you know that's the reason why.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to stay on for the speaker either, because I got clients screaming for work, so.
I'm looking forward, though, to seeing Steve Casey's photo travelogue here.
Mhm.
His photo? What do you mean?
Jerry?
Well, he's apparently been taking photographs all around his travels. That's what he's going to show us today.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, maybe I do have to stay on for the speaker then. Okay, so he's showing his
It is, I
photography
like
from
that.
all over the world.
Yes, yeah. When you said it, I ran it when you said it, yeah. That's a cool one.
Yeah, it's hard to hear with all the noise in the room.
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I turned it off once, and then they turned it back on. I'm afraid if I shut it off, they'll start the meeting and forget about us.
Yeah.
Like last week.
Who's running the this thing in the room since Kirk is here with me? Well, not with me, but he's in South Carolina. So who's running the Zoom in the room?
I think I'm not sure. Kirk Alexander, I think,
Okay.
Or Susan.
or Susan.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having lunch with Kirk and Becca on Sunday.
Oh, that's nice. He's not far away, I take it.
Well, they're in Greenville, which is like 2.5 hours, but they came down here to Pawleys Island for a few days, so I'm gonna drive down there and meet them there on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
That's probably like 45 minutes from here.
Do they have family there or is it they're on business?
I'm sorry, what?
Does he have family there or is he there on business?
I think they're here on business. They've been here I think they're here a few months, 2-3 months. Yeah, no, they're here for a long while.
Kirk Alexander?
No, Kirk Holmes, Kirk and Becca.
Yes, okay. I was gonna say, I just saw him recently. Okay. Kirk Holmes, wow.
Yeah, Kirk and Becca. Let me see. They had been staying in Greenville, but they came here for their anniversary.
Funny, my visits to South Carolina were always during Christmas time when we drive down from Philadelphia, Florida. We'd stop at south of the border.
Oh, nice.
It was the big hotel.
And where is that? I don't know that hotel. Is that in South Carolina?
It's just south of the North Carolina border on Interstate 95. It's a giant complex.
So probably like North Myrtle Beach area then.
I assume it's still around. I haven't. I'm talking like 40 years ago. So.
Hey, Renee, I like your background.
Let me look it up. What's it called, south of the border?
Yeah, so I'm looking here. It's on Interstate 95 in Dillon, South Carolina, just south of the Raleigh, North Carolina border.
Oh, Dylan, I see something in Hammer, South Carolina.
It dates back to 1949.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at is something different.
Well, then he's a prodigy.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Rowland. Okay. Yep, still there. It doesn't look like it's too far from me.
All right, thank you.
Maybe an hour away.
Can I get you anything?
No, I'm good.
Nothing to drink?
I got my water
All right, your table is all yours again.
and an orange.
And a sandwich, huh?
Yep.
If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
All right, thank you.
Where are you
Tom,
getting your
Tom, your
treatment
mic
from?
is on.
Tom, where do you go for treatment?
At the Comprehensive Cancer Center.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where Bill went to. Are you at the one on Twain or the one up on, what is it? Chief?
I think you had it just right.
At the Southern Highlands.
You had it just
Oh, Southern Highland. Okay. Okay.
Looks like they're getting ready to start here.
like that. Center.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go to speaker view. Right? So we can do this.
Here we go.
Here we go. We're ready.
We're good.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to the April 8th. Okay, 2021 meeting of the greatest Rotary Club in the world. I still think we're the greatest Rotary Club in the universe, but Jerry Engel tells me he had a call from someone on Mars who complained that their Rotary Club was better than ours. So until we can straighten this out with NASA, who is, as far as I know, the only other group besides Jerry who communicates with people on Mars, I'll settle for the best.
Elon Musk.
Andrew, if you come up and start us off with an invocation. Where do we lose Andrew? There.
Thank you, everyone, for letting me give this to the greatest Rotary in the world. So I'll start. 2,000 years ago, a great sage, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, said that the world stands upon three things: upon truth, upon peace, and upon justice. As it is written in the book of Zechariah, speak truth to each other, establish peace. And remember honest judgment in your gates. Heavenly Father, may the words as well as the words of the Rotary four-way test to speak the truth, to be fair, to establish goodwill for all. May these words inspire us in our daily work and in our lives to do our share as your partners on earth to make this a better world. May the words that we pray and the deeds that we do be acceptable to you, O Lord, our rock and our redeemer. And let us say, Amen.
Thank you, Andrew and Kurt. Welcome back. And do you have a patriotic song to start us off?
Sure, we do. How about that? See where we go with this. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Right on.
Ryan, if you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whoops! Look at this.
You know, Kurt, I know that I'm getting older. You didn't need to rush in. And thank you to all of the 25 club members and others who helped with the meeting today, to Jared and Susan, and Vaughn and Sarah for setting up and greeting, Steve Under, our Sergeant at Arms, Tina for selling tickets, Kate and Bert for agreeing to do the tear down, Susan for acting as scribe, And Jim Tucker for acting as our paparazzi today. Thank you very much. And welcome to everybody on the Zoom screen. Hello to all of you. And I think some of you will be giving reports, and one of you will be the lucky recipient of a large fine before the meeting is over. In fact, let's go ahead and start. Marie, do you want to give us a report on Breakfast with Books? Marie Walsh, can you hear us?
I can hear you, Richard. Thank you very much. This month, which was last month, actually, the month of March, 653 kids and families watch the video, which is absolutely marvelous. We're doing well distributing the books, and we still don't know whether we're going back to school in person in the fall, but that will all depend on the numbers and the governor. So that's where we're at right now, but we're giving out books, and the kids are back in school, and things are going right along. Okay, that's it.
Thank you very much, Marie. And Jackie Thornhill, past president, Jackie Thornhill. Did you have an announcement? And here comes Steve Linder with the microphone.
Hello, everyone. It's that time of year to say goodbye to President Richard. So we are planning a major debunking party, June 24th, Thursday, the last meeting of this year. It will be at Rose Poloco's beautiful home. And we got some massive things planned for you. Oh, and committee meeting right after the vending machine. Yes, Richard?
What?
You don't have anything to say?
No, I'm looking forward to the party of the century.
Usually you tell us we need to meet out in Henderson.
Well, that didn't work very well last time, so. Steve, while you're there, do you want to take the microphone, please, to Rose Coloco and describe the 25 Club fundraiser?
Okay, so for all of you who didn't attend, you missed a great party at Jerry Engel's home. We had a great time, food, beverage, fun, and we raised money for our canned food drive. So I think it's the first money that's raised for this year. We raised $210. So I want to thank everybody who bought tickets. Lots of members who weren't in attendance bought tickets also. And we had drawings. So if you missed the email, I sent an email out that anybody who wasn't there was going to be at the meeting. I'd bring your baskets, but I only saw Sarah and Pete Samolis. So John Williams and Marie Walsh. Sorry, you didn't respond, so I didn't know if you were going to be not to me. I didn't get a response. All right, we'll bring it next week. Marie Walsh, we'll get it to you sometime. And the other winners of members in attendance were Carolyn Sparks, Yvonne, Nikki Bates, and Janice Lemke. So thank you again, and stay tuned for next month. It'll be at a different location, and we'll probably hold the same theme and raise money again. Thank you.
Now, Rose, I need to ask you, is it a coincidence you met at Jerry Engel's house and he came in today with a report about what Martians are doing about our meetings?
Yes, maybe so, because I think all the members that went there were really Martians up in space looking down at his house.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have a special presentation today from Mercedes Hildreth. Mercedes, would you like to come up? And Dan Patterson, I think you're part of this presentation.
Ms. O'Neill. What's going on? I'm kind of on a Zoom, but I can.
So for the benefit of the Zoomers who are asking, Mercedes is the widow of Ty Hilbrecht, who was a member of our club for many, many years, a member of the Nevada legislature, a prominent attorney here in town. And she has a presentation today for the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation, which is why Dan Adamson is up here if you can't see.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back. I do have a little, bear with me. I do have a check I'd like to give the Rotary Foundation. I do have a check I'd like to present to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation. In loving memory of my husband, Ty. It's just, he loved this club so much that it was something I wanted to do for him. Okay. Thank you.
I'm gonna hand it to Dan for you, since it's a check for more money than I've ever seen us raise in a fundraiser, $25,000.
And he was so proud of the foundation. So it's been a year, but still kind of tough.
Yeah.
Bear with me. Okay. Thank you for having me.
You want to have some perspective?
Let's stick with it for a minute. As many of you just heard that Ty was a long time member of this club, as he was real instrumental in setting up this foundation that Mercedes has so generously helped support. And one of his, I distinctly remember a number of board meetings when we were on the board together, and using his legal expertise really brought the foundation to here it is today. He insisted as part of his legacy that the corpus remain untouched. And as many of you know today, that has grown to over $3 million. The benefit going to our club, every year as we dole it out to the president to use for our programs. But a lot of that came from the foundation that our wonderful friend, I always said, I want to grow up to be like Ty. He was immaculately dressed. He was the perfect gentleman, and he worshiped the ground that Mercedes walks on. So.
And as the president of the foundation, I can let you know that there is a huge need, and you're impacting hundreds, if not thousands, of lives with that donation. So it will go on, and we are going to protect the corpus, and we are going to grow that because the need is very great. Thank you.
Those were very nice words, Brock, but this is way too serious. I remember practicing law with Mel Close for many years. Mel and Ty served in the legislature together, and Mel had plenty of stories about Ty and the pranks that he pulled on other legislators. So it's certainly good to remember that as well dressed and as polite as he was, he had a heck of a sense of humor. Jim Hunt. I see your name up there. Do you want to give us a report on the Wheelchair Foundation, or would you like John to do that? I'm not hearing from Jim, so unfortunately.
I'm here. I'm sorry about that, Mr. President. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I had a little bit of a sound thing going on. I'm sorry. What was your question about the wheelchairs?
Yes, sir.
We are, as a matter of fact, one was delivered today, bringing the total to 79. So our next little milestone will be 80. Howie Hopkinson delivered one this morning. So things are going very well. Like I say, we just continue to ask for everyone's help in getting us referrals, but we're forging ahead. John has that nice truck that has a wrap on it. So we got advertising. Karen Wisenhunt, past President Karen Wisenhunt, gave us a referral just the other day from somebody that saw the truck. So we're getting the word out. We've got lots of chairs. Spread the word. We'll continue to do our part.
Thank you, past President Jim. And I guess I should put in a reservation for my wheelchair, since the AV folks have kindly put up a commercial for wrinkle cream, which was, I guess, for my benefit.
We've got one for you, Richard. No worries.
I'll need it eventually. And also up on the Zoom screen, I see our new member, Michelle Calvi. Michelle, can you unmute yourself and join the meeting for a moment? I assume you can hear us. We can't see you yet.
Yeah. Are you calling my name?
Yes, Michelle.
I happen to be in San Diego and with my son, but I'm Zooming and figured since I'm so casual, I would just leave my name up there, but not me.
Well, we wanted to see the look on your face. I don't know if you saw the wheel for this week. We distributed it electronically, and it's in paper here.
No, but I'll make sure I do look at them.
Well, you definitely should, because it's going to be very expensive for you. I think you set a new record, inducted one week and fined the next week for winning an award for your Corvette. That's a 1966 Corvette, is that right?
1966, yeah, had a great time, and 2 Rotarians showed up to support me, so I so appreciated that, and hopefully more to come.
So I guess for a 1966 Corvette, the appropriate fine would be $6,600. Would that be right?
You got it. You got it. It's worth it.
Well, I'm glad you.
There too. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, could I interrupt briefly? Could somebody reconfigure the sound in the room? The sound on Zoom is terrible. It's not hooked up to the house sound system. We couldn't hear the song either.
Yeah, I agree. I'm having a hard time hearing you. So whatever you say, I'm going to say yes to.
While we're doing that, let's move on to the raffle drawing. And so first, for the chance to try to pull the joker. Oh, you know what? It's not somebody in the room. It's one of the Zoomers. So Karen, looks like your ticket won the right to pull for the joker. Is there somebody in the room you'd like to appoint as your?
I'll ask Jim Tucker to call. Please pick a card for me.
I picked a card a couple of years ago from Karen. It's one of the box. Wow. That's why she's at. Oh, okay. Sorry, Karen. Team Hearts.
Thank you, Jim.
Karen, would you like us to give the $10 to Jim, or Send it to you.
You could give it to Jim. Jim, you can have a half a glass of wine on me.
And for the Lowry Bucks, the winner is here in the room, holding ticket 2349031. Congratulations, Bert. All right, well, unless someone else has any announcements for the good of the order, please enjoy a few minutes of fellowship before our guest speaker.
President Richard, I must remind you, this is your Sergeant at Arms speaking. Might be nice if we would introduce our guest today.
Did we miss that? I'm sorry.
Ah,
Thank you. Thank you for that reminder, Past President Steve.
you're quite welcome.
Do we have any guests?
I have a guest. Yes. Maurice Robinson, he just moved here a month ago, and I'll let him give a quick introduction.
Good afternoon. My name is Martin Robinson. I've been here for a month now. It's capital generation. Thank you for your time, and it's nice to be here.
Thank you, Martine. Welcome. Everybody else, Steve?
I have several guests. My wife, Linda. My photo buddy, Alan. My sister, Ann. And Dr. and Mrs. David. She's known as Susan. She's my bike riding buddy. You'll hear about him later. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Any other guests? Oh, over here.
I'm gonna reorganize my guest. Who's chair to speak?
I think a lot of our older members know Hillcrest, and they were actually instrumental to me joining this club many years ago. And they're really fine people, great friends, and we've spent many vacations together down in Cabo to start every year. So, I'm really glad to say today. And her generosity is beyond measure.
Thank you, Paul. Any other guests? Rotarians, do we have any other visiting Rotarians besides Steve Payson?
I would like to introduce Nancy Anderson. She's visiting now this week. She was here last week as my guest this week. She is here going through the membership process. Yay!
Thank you. Can we have a big round of applause for all of our guests? And sorry. We have another hand here, a late entry here from past President Jim Cole. Trying to get the mic, trying to get my west of this. So I just wanted to let everybody know, also visiting us today, Melanie and Kurt Holmes. Zoom viewer, Facebook. Now let's have a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Now, please enjoy some fellowship before our guest speaker.
I don't know if there's any hope of them fixing the audio. Enough people there have gotten the message, but they don't seem to have found the problem.
Keep it on mute. You want to keep it on mute? Well, he's trying to hear. He's trying to hear what's going on in here. That's another problem that we're having at the moment.
Stu, is it the volume on the computer itself?
No, I think what they don't have the connection from the house sound to Facebook. And then I believe they also have the microphone that's on the webcam computer turned on, which it should be off because it's picking up all the room noise. So the only audio connection should be from the Lowry's house sound to Zoom. So they've got two problems. They've got that turned off. So we're hearing the people speaking at the podium muffled because it's going through the house sound, the speaker, and then it's going to the webcam. And we're hearing all the noise in the room because the webcam is on. So I'm not sure who set it up, but they got it wrong.
I think we've come a long ways technology wise, and we're doing the best we can, and everybody should just roll with it, right?
Yeah, I think we'll survive. It's just fortunately, I think the lunch presentation we're going to hear from Steve Casey is mostly visual.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think some compromise on the audio won't be too bad.
And I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention early. I have a friend of mine whose daughter had to have appendix surgery this morning, emergency appendix. So I was on the phone with them, making sure she's good, but she sounds like she's doing well. So
good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Jim, did the people from Dignity Health, did they call you?
From Dignity Health, I have not heard from. No.
Okay, the guy that was on that was Dignity Health, right?
Yeah, I think John is in touch with him though.
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
because that's when I saw John's response, and he said to let him know, and then if he needs any further help to reach out to me. So I haven't heard from him, but I'm here to help whatever he needs as well. So
well, it was funny how that all came about because I shared it on Facebook, and one of our students from about 10 years ago, who was the first World Peace Scholar, she saw it, and so she shared it. She lives in California now, but she's still in contact with people that she knew in Vegas. And so they said, like, I know I've seen a picture of that truck. So how do I get the phone number? So
I'm
anyway,
going to say that I think out of the almost 80 wheelchairs that we've delivered, that I'll bet that about at least half of them have been through what we've done verbally and at churches, and like for instance, LaShawn put it in her announcement bulletin at her church, and we got a couple deliveries out of that. People on Facebook have put it on, and we've gotten deliveries out of that. So I think probably half have come through the foundation itself, and the other half have come through our spreading the word. So
yep, just got to keep doing it.
Yep. It makes it very rewarding when you deliver one to somebody and they had no idea they could get a free chair, and that's when it's worth keep trying to get the word out, because if there's people out there that need them that don't know they can get a free wheelchair, it's amazing. It's hard to spread the word about something free.
They're always looking for the catch.
Well,
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
Way, there you go.
you had that TV spot. I would assume that went to a large number of people.
Yeah, we got a good spike after that. When we have news coverage, I think we probably got 10 or 15 deliveries out of that. So
Yeah.
we
Gee,
needed to have
I would think each of the local hospitals that have, I forget what they call it, but when they discharge you, they have some sort of social person come by and try and check out your needs and stuff.
That's a
To,
good,
to,
that's a good source.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh boy, we should have promoted it a little bit more with that lady who was here from the hospitals last week.
Yeah. Well, we still can get in touch with her, but yeah, I know that, they have a name for those people. They're not physicians or nurses, but they come by when they discharge you. They want to make sure that, there's someone home to take care of you and
Yeah, they're like caseworkers or something.
Health
Yeah.
advocate or something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had that when I got released from the hospital last year.
And so their whole department at each hospital set up with that. And they probably, I mean, there aren't that many. We could probably just reach out to them individually. Prepare
That's not a bad idea. I'll mention it to John Williams when I talk to him, because he's the spearhead of representing the foundation for stuff like that. So I just helped him with a letter. Part of the thing with the Wheelchair Foundation is that they, to get those who have the finances to donate more money to buy more chairs so we can give them away. And one of the way they do that is by getting these thank you letters from the recipients. And John had a little note that he put in with each thing saying, we hope you enjoy your chair. If you would, send a little thank you letter, but it wasn't really doing the trick. So we created one with letterhead, and we're going to get them a self-stamped, pre-stamped and addressed envelopes. And hopefully that's going to do a little bit better trick of getting more thank you letters. The ones that we have gotten were wonderful, but not everybody remembers to do it. And the more letters they get, the more they show the donors, the more money they get. And then you can buy more
Yeah,
chairs.
of course.
So,
And the easier you make it for them to send the thank you note, the more likely they'll send it.
right. That's the goal. Yep.
Yeah. I guess, and I think you were doing some of that, although there's a privacy issue. At the time you deliver it, you could take a photo, or even like a 5-second video clip where you might ask them to say something, or and then
yeah, we haven't done
send that
video.
along.
We take a photo with each one though, and those are the ones that if you in the wheel, they're in the wheel each week, or the most recent photos, and some of them are just heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time, with the amputees and the kids and things like that. For me, it's been I almost get a little choked up when I think about it. That hurts the most is I think of this one woman, a heavy set black lady that I delivered a chair to probably in November, and maybe like 4 or 5 weeks after that, we got word she passed away. But I mean, she was using the chair every other day, they said, while she was with us. So, I mean, that's, at least we made it easier for someone towards the end. And that's the kind of stuff that really hits you when you find out somebody's passed away that you brought a chair to or something.
Yeah, I think that this is an interesting kind of charitable effort, because a lot of things we do, you don't know if it's actually having any positive impact at the time you give the gift or perform the service. It could be months or years later, but here's one where you can tell, like, the instant you kind of deliver it, that it's obviously going to be doing some good.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. I mean, it's just like with Santa Claus, maybe there were a few kids over the 25 years that probably got in the program that weren't totally needy, but that's okay. There's a few wheelchairs that we deliver, and they're kind of grumpy when they accept it or something like that, like they're supposed to be getting it. And you know what? That's going to happen. The vast majority of them, though, are almost in tears of appreciation. And one guy said he would be happy to make payments to us to pay it back if he had to. I mean, and when we tell him, no, that's not necessary, it's we're happy to provide it. That's the if I get 3 or 4 out of 40 or 50 that maybe aren't as appreciative, I'm okay with it. I really am. We're hitting the vast majority.
They still need the chair.
They still need the chair and they have an
They-
attitude. That's their problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't fix attitude, but you can fix the chair.
Right.
I'd like to think that I could maintain a great attitude if I was in the bad shape that some of these people are. So
That's true too.
I certainly understanding. Yeah.
I don't know if you
We'll
saw on
have
the
to ask
wheel.
Harriet about that one.
I don't know if it's been in the wheel yet. The photo that I gotta make sure that I sent that one to the wheel. But there was one that Brock delivered about a week or so ago that this lady had a coffee table that if it didn't have 40 prescriptions on it, it didn't have one. And she was just smiling and so appreciative to Brock and thanked him so much. And I'm thinking, boy, you're right, Stu. That takes some courage to still have a good attitude when you're dealing with that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I was married to somebody who kept that attitude for 5.5 years. Not to say that it's easy, but
I think he just showed his grumpy side to you. He never showed it to us.
Yeah. Oh, well.
No hurricanes your way, Deb? You're staying good?
Yeah, no hurricanes, no, we had a tornado touchdown in Georgia, about 4 or 5 hours away from here. Pretty serious, destroyed a school and several buildings and homes. But we've been good. Yeah, we're good. It's in the 80s. It's starting to get a little humid.
Do many houses there have basements?
No.
No.
Well, I don't know about the older ones, but the newer ones, no, we don't.
And no tornado shelters, huh?
No, I don't really think tornadoes are that common here. We did right after I moved, like in the first month, we did have severe flooding in my town because we just from the sheer volume of rain that we had. There's a river that runs through the center of town and it really floods badly. And so I felt bad because there were people literally going to their homes in canoes. And out where my house is, we didn't even have any puddles.
Well, do yourself a favor, get one of those NOAA weather radios or something like that. So the main thing is that you get notice, right?
Yeah, well, I have an app on my phone that, dings with their weather and stuff. But we're really like, where I bought is pretty far out from the flood zone.
I'd rather be, I'm glad you have the app. You never know.
I know.
I got a call on this friend of mine who's in the hospital. I'll be right back.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, my concern is if something happened and I had to get out of here fast, how the hell do I get 4 cats out of here fast?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the situation is, whether you got 2 or 3 different interstate highways you can go north, south, east, or west.
Well, there's nothing real close. I mean, I don't know how far I am from the 95, but yeah, there's nothing real close. They call them highways, but they're like podunk little town roads.
Yeah, we lived down in Florida, and we were on a location that required a causeway connection to the mainland, and whenever there was a threat of bad weather, the causeway became so overcrowded it could take you like 2 hours in backed up traffic to kind of get off. So you paid a lot more attention to these weather warnings rather than waiting the last minute. If they thought something was going to happen, you'd leave a day before if you could.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Now we've been okay, and I think I'm far enough inland that most hurricanes probably won't impact me. I'm like, I don't know how many miles, and it's like a half an hour drive to the beach. So
yeah, it's always those outliers. I mean, they never expected, that weird stuff in Texas where the entire state became frozen, and
right.
Some of these Boston area, we very rarely get a major storm that comes up the coast that hits Boston. It usually veers off or dies off. But once in 10 years or so, there'll be a hurricane warning, and you can lose power lines and trees, and far enough away that we don't get flooding, but we certainly get the high winds,
Yeah,
damage the
yeah.
roof.
Well, I mean, we've been through some of that pretty bad stuff in New Jersey too, so. When they had Sandy, I was living in Las Vegas, but my dad was without power for 7 or 8 days. Which was really a challenge because he was on constantly on a nebulizer and on oxygen. And so getting all of that powered was a major ordeal for him, but.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I guess, there were people years ago from polio who were like on iron lungs and stuff, and they would have battery for like a couple hours, but that would be it.
Yeah, they were charging his nebulizer in the car.
We bought a generator a year or so before we left Boston because we were losing power at least once a season during the winter from the snow load on the outside lines. And I never had a chance to use it.
We're starting back up again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
This club.
Some
He's a past president from 2004 to 2005. And also a past president of the Rotary Foundation. So he's done his time serving in this club. He has several distinctions, and when he served as president in 2004 and 2005, the district court had to appoint a guardian ad litem for the club, Ned Phillips, because there were times when our club wasn't being administered to by his president. But he does hold the distinction of being the only president of a Las Vegas Rotary Club that also got in 80 days of skiing in Deer Valley the same day. Come on up, Steve. Let's see your photo. I'm not sure if that's production or. Anyway, I'm going to move the podium back a little bit so I don't block the screen. Actually, I want to hide the corner too. Thank you, Tom, and thanks for the invitation to speak today. As Tom said, I served as your president. That's the last time I spent any time at this podium, so I have to get used to this again. I was asked to speak to you today about two of my life's passions, photography and adventure. Adventure creates serendipitous opportunities to see the beauty in the world. My camera helps me see more of that world. You may remember the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That rings true as images carry me to relive the experience with words, memories, and emotions. The limited time available will necessarily abbreviate the stories that are part of the images I present today. And as any photographer, I am always concerned that my images are displayed with the best quality, color, exposure, clarity, and sharpness. Projecting images on the screen makes it difficult to achieve a quality viewing experience. If you have an interest in viewing my images in a better light, I would like to try something new with this presentation. By inviting you to use your phones to view the images I present today. While smaller in size, the phone images will look better than the projected images. If you have an interest in doing that, pull your phone out now and I will provide instructions on how you can view my website and the images there. If you choose not to use your phone or have difficulty using your phone for this purpose, you will see the images projected on the screen. If you do use your phone, please take the following steps and do not get ahead of it. The instructions I am providing work with my iPhone.
I am not familiar with all phones, but this should work for most of you. The following instructions are printed and on the table if you happen to find them, but I'll read them out. First, I'd like you to open my website. The address is www.stevecaseyphotography.com. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. It's www.stevecaseyphotography.com. If you hold your phone in the vertical position, this will everybody be in the same location. When you get that open, select the uppermost image, or for some reason you have more than one column of it, just select the uppermost left image. And that will open the image for the portfolio that's titled Rotary Club of Las Vegas. That portfolio is open. Select the uppermost image on the left, and you will open the image that's on the screen right now. And as we advance the images, if you swipe from right to left on your screen, you'll be able to move to the next image as the projection changes. And you may find it beneficial to rotate your phone depending on the orientation of the image as well. And also on your table, I'd like to thank Alan Duff, my friend, for putting this sheet on your and placing it on your table. And it has the images that will be displayed today, going left to right and then down. This opening image does a good job of summarizing my feelings on photography. I am grateful to be in a pew with a great view of the Cathedral of Light. Here, Lynn and I are paused on the Witches Trail viewing the Italian Golden Race. Witches Trail is on Alpe Siusi, which is the largest high alpine meadow in Europe. Continuing to the next image, this is Brenna, which is on Lake Como, across the water from Bellagio. The next image is a garden gateway wrapping vines opening onto Lake Como. And the image following, the lights of Monterolo reflect on the water as twilight falls in this tributary village. I am told that I missed the best Italian meal ever by foregoing dinner to feast on this scene. The next image is Florence Twilight Panorama. A 5 a.m. cab ride carried me to Piazzale Michelangelo on the south side of the Arno River for this perspective.
Wow.
I was truly fortunate to capture this panorama of Florence in the pre-dawn twilight. As it turned out, I only had this one chance. In an instant, as if someone flipped the master switch, every single light in the scene went dark as soon as I had taken my final frame.
Wow.
It definitely changed what I was looking for.
Yeah, I'll say.
This is a composite of multiple images stitched side by software to make a panorama of the scene. The resulting high image resolution allows for large printed image. The next image, Gondola Dawn, was a Venetian gondolas bobbing on the water before dawn. By the way, dawn is the only time you will find solitude at Venice. It's still a neat place. A long exposure creates motion blur on the boats and the water, but everything's stationary beneath the boats. In the next image, a neighborhood square is centered on a chapel in Syracuse, Sicily. I love the patterns of the tile in this one. In the following image, Sunrise color lights up the historical center of Syracuse system in the final image system. This is obviously another building shot. Our next stop is in Austria. Hallstatt, Austria was the photographic bucket list location for me. It would be difficult to find a more picturesque mountain-like village. The next image is of a musical score in colorful form as it spirals up into the high dome of the music room over Castle in Salzburg, Austria. It speaks to the history of this city, the birthplace of Mozart, and the setting for Sound of Music. Our adventure now takes us to Scotland and the ruins of St. Andrew's Cathedral in St. Andrews, Scotland. Originally built in the 12th century, it fell into disuse and ruin after Catholic Mass was outlawed during the 16th century Scottish Reformation. Multiple images were required to remove from the scene the many people who were visiting the site at the same time. It's a very busy place, but I don't like people in my pictures. The final Scotland image is of Island Donan Castle. The full moon sets as the sun rises on this picturesque castle. This is another one of the bucket list items. The next image is titled
No?
Well, let me change. I'll change my order and we'll match it to the one that's there. Oh, excuse me. I went too far. There we go. Okay, that's my fault. Okay, France is always a pleasure to visit. This image shows a picturesque street in Arles, France. Arles is famed for inspiring the paintings of Vincent van Gogh. In the next image, we see the intricate detail of the Bayeux Cathedral, which is very near Normandy, for the Normandy beaches in the summer. The next image, spectacular Mount Saint Michel, is the final image from France. The timing of our travel to France was entirely dependent on dates and times of the highest tide at Mount Saint Michel. When you're at low tide and nothing but mud flats around Mount Saint Michel, it's not quite as picturesque.
Wind to water.
I used a filter that blocks light through the lens, creating the need for more light to be added with a long exposure of 13 seconds. This results in motion blurred clouds revealing a more dramatic scene. Next is Spain, which was one of our most recent travels. Here we see a lone oak tree in a field of flowers in the region of La Mancha, a donkey. Next is a dramatic sunrise view of Toledo as an overnight store clears. At 5 a.m. cab ride again, but this time adding height in the darkness were needed to reach this viewpoint. I was tingling with hopeful anticipation as the storm cleared and the approaching dawn revealed more of the scene. The next stop shows Plaza de España in Sevilla, Spain. After 19 years of preparation, Plaza de España was built for a World's Fair in 1929. And multiple images were required here to again remove people wandering about the city. We next move on to the desert southwest. Whoops. See, I've got this is not the desert southwest. Evidently, I'm missing my pages up just a second.
Okay. Somewhere I was on page. Anyway, I'll improvise. Okay, this is a picture that I was honored to be published by a photographer named Rick Sam in his book, Oregon Post-Photo Road Trip. Rick is a Canon explorer of light and a superstar in the photographic community. This is of the Hasita Head Lighthouse on the Oregon coast of the state park. It's beautiful. Go to the next one now. Okay, this is a picture of Gibraltar Rock through one of the numerous windows that you'll find in the Valley of Fire rock formations. The next image is a Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area with a snowfall. This was December of 2009, as I recall. Yep. One of the heaviest snowfalls that I've witnessed. And it was just a spectacular morning. The sun was just rising. Shadows are still at the base of the slope. Yep. Yes. That's just west of us. The last local, what I call local, is a scene of the perigee moon rising above the Las Vegas Strip. Wow. Perigee means that the object is in its orbit closest to the Earth. Apogee is when it is furthest. Yeah. This is just a portion of a much wider panorama of 16 images stitched together. When you stitch all 16 of them together, it's very, very wide and not very tall. So I probably should see the center of the other. Yeah, it's cool. Going on to the next page. This is now we're moving on to the desert Southwest. Yeah. This is titled Badwater Starcruise, Death Valley National Park. This is a blended stack of 37 layered images captured over a 3-hour period. It all starts off before the sun sets, and I take the foreground shot so it will be well lit, and then wait a while, and then over 3 hours capture the stars moving. The next, the next image is a black and white titled Dune Ripples, Mesquite Dunes, Death Valley National Park. It's a blend of 4 images that were needed to maintain focus throughout the scene, from the nearest to the farthest. And following Death Valley National Park, this is called Sunrise at Torrewee Overlook, Grand Canyon National Park. Torrewee Overlook is reached via 60 miles of rough dirt road at the end of a 6-hour drive from Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. The Colorado River flows at the bottom of a sheer drop of 3,000 feet. And I guarantee you, when you're standing on the edge of the rocks, you can wrap your toes around the edge and it goes straight down. It's very sheer. It's a long way down. Because it's the last 10 feet. A small lens aperture creates sun stars. The next image is Rainbow Bridge National Monument. This is the world's largest known natural bridge. It's reached by up to a 3-mile hike depending on Lake Powell's water level. Yep. Following a 50-mile boat ride from Wahweap Marina near Case, Arizona. We were fortunate to be here, and I believe Alan was on this trip with me, but not at this location. We've gone all the day earlier. A friend of mine, Bill and I were down in the bottom of the gorge below the canyon and enjoyed this
great scene. That night, we had an unbelievable thunderstorm, and this would have had a tremendous flash flood coming through here. So this, there's an old saying in photography, never say you're going back because it ain't going to be the same. So we'll get it while you're there. The next image shows the evening calm on Padre Bay from Ulster Point above Red Powell. And really, this is in the next scene. You'll get a comparison to the same location. This was the next morning after the sunset that you saw before. So things change all the time. The next image is the increasingly popular White Pocket in Vermilion Cliffs National Mine in Arizona. Fantastical formations like this bleached white cauliflower sandstone abound in this area, which is reached through a maze of deep sand four-wheel drive roads. On our final desert southwest location is Lower Antelope Canyon. Deep in this slot canyon, Needle's Eye, as I call it, I'm not sure that's what the name is, but that's what I call it, catches the shaft of light from above to light up the canyon walls for a few minutes each day. If you're not there, you don't see it. In the second scene, the second image, this black and white image displays the twisted, carved, and smooth slot canyon walls formed a fantastic fun. Oh, here's the one we were before. In the next image, a most recent adventure traveled to Reflection Canyon. At the end of March, Tom Thomas, Ann Adamson, Mark Jones, David Tack, one of my guests today, my nephew Carl, and I back to this location, which has been made even more spectacular by the low water level, Lake Powell. You can see the ring of the white bathtub where the high water has been. I've boated it here a number of times, and this is the lowest I've ever seen the water. The trailhead for this hike is reached by a 4+ hour drive from Las Vegas to Escalon, Utah, and then a 2+ hour drive on the rough Golden Rock Road. The hike to the viewpoint is 8 miles one way across undulating desert and slick rock. There are no water sources, requiring us to each carry 8 to 10 pounds of water in addition to all our gear needed for the overnight stay. You can't get down to the water. It's way there. The next scenes are the Mountain West. And this is Island Pass. It's on the Pacific Crest Trail that rises to 10,000 feet. After experiencing only clear blue skies on previous backpack trips to the Anse Islands wilderness, we were treated to a day of fantastical cloud formations. Mount Banner at over 12,900 feet and Mount Ritter at over 13,100 feet are in the distance. Next, Yosemite Valley is a most special place. A few years ago, Lynn and I were fortunate enough to secure a last-minute reservation for Yawani, Grand Hotel in Palmore, Yosemite Valley. I was unable to sleep in anticipation of the late spring snowstorm, which had been forecast for the night of our stay. I had to pinch myself in the morning when I was treated to this amazing view. We next traveled to Wyoming and morning at Schwabacker Landing, Grand Teton National Park. Walking through the darkness of the pre-dawn morning, I arrived to find several other photographers in my desired location.
Just close them out.
Yeah, but I was fortunate to find this new view close by. The next image is Silver Glance Lake at sunrise in the Wasatch Mountains near Salt Lake City. A 2.5 mile hike with a 2,500 foot elevation gain is needed to reach the lake at just short of 10,000 feet. Mount Timpanogos at a little over 11,700 feet is on the horizon. When you look at this, when I look at this picture, I don't know if I'm in Utah or the Alps. I mean, it's just, it's a special place. I've been there a number of times, and it's always special. Traveling north, the next image, we come to Multnomah Falls. These waters flow into the Columbia River Gorge. A neutral density filter to reduce the light seen by the camera and a slow shutter speed of 2 seconds to increase light was used to give the falls a silky look.
That's cool.
Okay, the next images are to demonstrate that photography is not all about landscapes. A fast shutter speed was used to freeze the speed of the skiers in the World Cup ski cross at Deer Valley Resort, Utah. There were actually 4 skiers there. The one that started the problem is on the bottom left. Out of the picture. And definitely out of the picture as far as the race goes. The fast shutter speed was also used in the next image, cap roping at the 75th anniversary of the rodeo in Augusta, Montana. And to bring a little fun, the next image is titled "Oh Happy Day." Backlighting created shadows at the Anchorage, Utah Balloon Festival. In the next to last image, this is what it started out as an old school film. The image is a result of a digital scan of the original Kodachrome slide. It pictures my son's Boy Scout Troop 120 gathered around the campfire on a backpack to Bridge Mountain in 1998. The lights of Las Vegas are in the background. Wow. And the final image is new school, digital in your pocket. This is an example that the best camera is the one you have with you, and a demonstration of the capability of today's phone cameras. This is a capture the moment image using my iPhone 7 while babysitting a neighbor's daughter. That's all the images, and I thank you for allowing me to share these with you. If you have questions, I'd be happy to take them.
You know, you're pretty good at this. You don't consider making it a career.
It's too much work.
2 things. What do you shoot with? I imagine it's changed over the years. You can back on what?
I have used the camera since I was 25 years old. Started with film. I've been through pretty much everything. A 35 millimeter film, medium format, Hasselblad, media. Started out with a digital Canon camera, and now I have a Sony A7R3, which is 46 megapixel. But everybody always asks questions about what do you use. As you can see from the picture of the little girl, I use everything in my hand, and I truly believe the best camera is the camera that you have with you. And as I said I don't know if it's in that the wheel or not, my personal project this year is to take one picture, at least one picture every day with my iPhone 12 Pro Max. It is amazing what this phone will do. And as my wife says, you may just decide to leave your big camera. But there are things that the big camera can do that the phone can't do. So.
Do you have a gallery or anything like our good friend Peter Litt?
No, I think I've been displayed in several galleries, but I'm not currently in one. And it's way too much work. It doesn't pay the bills.
What was the hardest picture you ever? The hardest.
Whoa. Man, I don't know. It's kind of hard to define hard. But the picture of the star trails in Death Valley took the longest time. Right. We sat there in a chair and watched the sky, and the camera, you take a 5-minute exposure and 1 second pause, another 5-minute exposure for 3 hours. And I just didn't feel like staying up all night, getting the whole circle. So, other difficult ones, which I didn't display, are nighttime images besides the star trails, the Milky Way. I just don't like staying up late. So I don't do it. But,
Steve, I recall when you went to Montana for school, right?
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in the brochure, it talks about it in the deal. It talks about,
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No problem. Yeah, it's Rocky Mountain School of Photography. In 2008, when we had the downturn in the economy and everything else, I was going nuts. I'd been retired for a few years. I wasn't enjoying that very much at all. And I told Linda that I'd always wanted to go to Rocky Mountain School of Photography and learn how to go from film to digital. And I definitely accomplished that. She allowed me to go. She said it's cheaper than a divorce. She was glad to get rid of it. I spent 5 months in Missoula, Montana, rented an apartment, came home for 4th of July, and they came up for my graduation in October. And it was a fantastic experience. It was 24/7 total immersion in photography. I did not see a TV, I did not read a newspaper, I did not hear a radio for 5 months. It was just totally focused. And as I say in the article on the bio and the wheel, it was the start of my 10,000 hours to master the subject. But as I also indicate in there, I'm not sure that I can ever master it, because it's the more I know, the more I know I don't. But it's fun.
Okay.
It's fun, yes.
Steve, when Tom Thomas introduced you, he said you were president. You skied 80 days. I seem to remember you skied 100.
Well, he didn't want to make it sound too bad. But I need to correct the record, because there are these rumors going around that I wasn't here. And I will tell you that I only missed 8 meetings that year. It seemed like a long time, because when I was here, yeah.
I skied with you.
That's right. I'm sorry, Gary, I should have put that picture up too. You and me and Howard. Susan.
Steve, I just want to vouch for you, because Steve was never out of phone or email shot.
Way to go, Susan.
He was constant and on my tail all the time.
The check's in the mail. Okay, thank you very much.
One more photograph. We don't give away trinkets, we give away a share what you can meal to the USO and your name. Okay. Stu, can you read the, are there any questions in the chat? I just realized there's a couple of. I can't read the number, but can you tell us if there are any questions in the chat, Stu?
No, there's no questions in the chat.
No. Got a few complaints though.
Well, in that case, thank you all for a wonderful meeting. Thank you in particular to Steve Casey.
Definitely. We're adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Bye, Zoomers. Have a great week.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody, take care.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to understand it next time.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
I'll actually be in person next week.
Yeah. Well, there was no more room today. They ran out of space.
Oh, I always make sure I reserve a month in advance.
Yeah, that's right.
I commute 1,100 miles to get there.
There you go.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.